Hi guys, welcome to Cooking with Marcus. Tonight we're going to be making smash burgers for my family. We're going to be using venison meat from a deer that was killed earlier this season here in Georgia. We'll be sauteing some onions to put on it and some bacon also, and then we'll add cheese. First thing I like to do on the cooler side of the griddle is I'll put down some onions that have already been cut up, sliced up, and I'll put a dome over them to help them cook, and the dome will help it. I've got this half of the griddle cut down to low to medium low, and this half is up high. We've got our butter wheel here that we'll use to butter our buns with when it comes time for that. First thing we're going to do is put down some good old thick sliced applewood smoked bacon. I've got this cut in half from an earlier recipe from when we made the pig shots. This is what was left over, so I'm going to use it up tonight. And then we'll take our venison here. We just got it made up into a ball. I just put it all down first. And then I'll get a piece of parchment paper and put over it. Tonight I'm going to be using my large bacon press on it, balls, and just put the press down. And you can smash them as thin or as thick as you want. We don't really like ours super thin like a true smash burger is, but I do like to smash them down a little bit and get a good sear on them that way. And I'll come back with some Blackstone bootleg burger seasoning. You can use whatever type of seasoning you like. This is just what I prefer today. Check on the onions, see how they're doing. Keep them turned over so they don't burn on one side or when you're cooking them. They turn that down just a little bit more on that side. Check this bacon, it looks to be doing pretty good. We'll turn it over. While we're waiting on all that to cook, we'll go on and use the butter wheel and put some good old butter just melted in that on these buns. And this butter wheel is pretty new to me. I think I've used it one other time. I actually found it in a thrift store. And me and my family, we like to go to thrift stores and yard sales and all and see what kind of treasures you can find. And I was just having a hard time talking myself into buying one, but when I found it at the thrift store and the price it was, I couldn't turn it down. So I went ahead and got it and I'll give it a shot. it works pretty well. It does take you do have to keep a good bit of butter in it for it to get up on the wheel, but it does really good. Now that we're through with it, I'll go on and pick it up and move it out of the way. It came with a cover over the top of it, so you can just leave the butter in it and let it solidify again, and then next time you get ready to use it, I just put it on the griddle when I turn it on to let it start melting the butter down, because it does take a few minutes to melt all the butter, but it just gives it that little extra flavor to the hamburger when the buns are buttered on it. Check this bacon again and get it turned over. Oh yeah, you see that nice brown crust on the burgers. And I come back on the and I flip them over and add a little bit more to it. And check these buns here, see how they're doing, and they seem to be ready. So we'll go on and take them up. You can probably hear in the background my deep fryer. I've got some French fries going also to cook with or to eat with the burgers for tonight. Now bacon looks like it's done. Some of it looks a little overdone, but you never have overdone bacon. Alright, so we're going to check these onions, and they look perfect. Got a little bit of caramelizing to them. I'm going and cut that side off. The burgers look ready. Well, I think we're ready to eat, fellas. Plate them and got a few more minutes on our French fries over there. I thought they were about ready, so we're going to put those down. And something I forgot to do was sometimes I like to put a little barbecue sauce on mine, and I got this honey chipotle rub barbecue sauce. It's got just a little bit of kick to it, so I'm gonna put just a little bit on that one right there, and that'll be mine, because I'll tell you what, let's do two of them. As you can see, we've got our bacon and onions sitting on top of a little cooling rack that I use for a warming tray on the Blackstone. You can buy the actual warming tray that'll go across it, but I've got a bunch of these that I'm not using, so I keep one with my Blackstone at the house and in my camper when we're camping, so that I can keep some things warm on top of this griddle top. I'm going to cut all the burners off. Check on the French fries. As you can see, our fries are coming right along there, and they'll be ready here in just a second. So I'm gonna pull them up and season them, and I season my French fries with Tony Checker's Cajun seasoning, and we'll be ready to eat. All right, guys. Well, we're through with all the burgers and all. It really doesn't take very long on the Blackstone to cook a good hamburger. So I'm gonna get them plated up and inside, and we're gonna get eating our supper. Until next time, y'all don't forget to follow and like my page, and we'll see what we're gonna cook next time we're out here. See y'all.